it just sort of spirals down from there. So then you wake up.
What's the drink of choice? Is it tequila?
Tequila!
Hey everyone, it's your girl, Emily Curl, and today we're hanging out with Grammy-nominated country music artist Ingrid Andress. Hi Ingrid, how are you? Thanks for being here.
Of course, thanks for having me. Exciting stuff.
So much to talk about, so exciting. I want to dive into your music first because I mentioned this before we got on this call, but I am such a big fan of yours. I love your album Ladylike, and I feel like this last year has been so explosive for you with your single Ladylike and with More Hearts Than Mine. Walk me through what this past year or this past 6 months have looked like for you.
I mean, well, the year was crazy. Like saying 2020 was my year is not something anybody probably will ever say in history.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a whirlwind, to be honest, because you have, you're launching your debut album at the beginning of a global pandemic is not the most ideal thing, but it's been really beautiful to see how people have connected with the stories of the album Ladylike. And even though I wasn't able to go out and see people or play shows or anything, just getting, notes from fans of being like, oh, this happened to me too. It made it feel so much more special knowing that people were relating to the stories. So for me, it's just been so fun seeing, everybody start to get excited about music that is just genuine and comes from a real place. So it's been awesome.
I mean, and storytelling is nothing new for you. You were a songwriter before you released your own music, writing for the likes of Sam Hunt, Alicia Keys, BB Rexa, Charlie XCX, Fletcher, which is a serious lineup, a lot of great people. When did you decide you wanted to make that transition from a songwriter to putting your own music out there?
It sort of just happened,
Oh, really?
I had always wanted to be an artist, but I wanted to make sure I knew who I was and what kind of stories I'd want to tell. And so being a songwriter first was really helpful for me to kind of figure out, like, what do I like? What don't I like? In the meantime, I'll just write with other people and this will be fun. But I started getting to a point where the songs I was writing were very, very personal to me. And I was like, I don't want anybody else to record these. And so at that point, you're like, well, I guess that means you have to record them because nobody else is going to then. So it kind of just happened. I rarely plan out my life. So it just kind of fell into it.
Now, one song that we have to talk about yours is Ladylike, and I love that one because when I listened to it, it felt like just a big F you to the patriarchy, and I was all about it. Where did the inspiration for the song come from?
Well, it just came from real life. I grew up in a household where I was never told I could or couldn't do something because I was a female. So I was a little thrown off when I moved to the South. Because I was just like, oh, Western, Southern, it's the same. I'll fit right in. And it's very different, turns out. So Ladylike just came from years of just being approached, being like, oh, that wasn't very ladylike, or, why does it look like your hair's not brushed? And like, why are you not wearing a bra? And I'm like, these are all my decisions. Thank you for being so concerned, though. So I just wrote it sort of like autobiographically, just to be like, I'm here and I'm not going to apologize for who I am. But then after I put it out, I realized that, I was being very specific to me, but it's actually for everybody. Like, I think so many women, whether, even if you don't like tequila and you brush your hair, like there are other things that like women feel pressure to do, even though they don't want to do it. And that's not who they are. And so to me, I'm realizing that song is more universal to anybody, both actually men and women who don't want to confine themselves to a box.
Totally. And how do you define ladylike for you now? What does that word mean for you?
It's shifted a little bit, especially after this past year. Oftentimes we think being a strong female means that we have masculine qualities about us. And that might be true, but I do think having strong feminine qualities is what makes being a female so powerful. I think embracing being more compassionate. I feel like that is a superpower, especially during this time of just being like, yes, I have emotions and I have empathy and I have compassion, more so than a lot of men do sometimes. And so to me, embracing those things and being like, I think the world actually needs this. That doesn't make us weak. It's more like, well, that's actually what we need right now for society to move forward. So it's just like embracing your feminine traits that aren't necessarily masculine, but it's just, it is still a powerful thing to me.
Yeah, and you're allowed to have them all. Like you said, it's like you're allowed to embrace femininity, but you're also allowed to, you know, be a boss and do what you want, you know? It's allowing both of those things to exist.
Totally, yeah. You're allowed to be a multifaceted human. Like that's the beautiful part about being alive, is like you literally get to make whatever decision you want.
And it's interesting too, I feel like in country music especially, we've seen more and more artists advocate for racial and gender equality in the music industry. What do you think about country music moving forward when it comes to inclusivity?
I have a lot of faith in country music, based on where it's come from, which is rooted in talking about what's happening in the country and challenging societal norms and sort of being like an outlaw and an outsider. I think a lot of where country came from was that. And so I really do think it's going to get back to that, because there's so much happening that needs to be talked about, that country music could be probably one of the best platforms to start discussing it, because you can tell such a story in a country song, and people will listen because it's more about the lyrics and it's less about like, how catchy is this? It's just a good song. So I believe in, you know, the next generation of us coming up. I think everybody is very passionate about expanding the genre, and I love that I get to be a part of that new wave.
I mean, and already so many people are resonating with your music, nominated for 3 Grammys. So exciting, including Best New Artist category, which is huge, alongside Phoebe Bridgers, Doja Cat, Meg Thee Stallion. Take me back to the moment when you got the call and you were nominated in this category. What did that look like for you?
I literally like fell out of my chair, quite literally. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way. Like, that is insane. Like, I'm a huge Megan Thee Stallion fan, like, and a lot of them. I was just like, wow, I cannot believe I'm in the same category as them. And because also, like, country artists never really get it into that category. So at first I was like, there's gotta be a mistake. Like, there's no way this happened. But I just was so shocked and was just beyond excited, though, to represent country music in such a big category, because it's such an important genre to me. And I hope more people can be open and start to realize that it's an ever-changing and growing genre that I'm really proud of.
We're so excited for you at iHeart. And so as we gear up for the award show, I want you to take me through what a 24-hour countdown to the Grammys, a ladylike countdown, looks like for Ingrid. And wow. I want to go through step by step. I want to be, you know, like the fly on the wall. Walk me through what happens the day before the Grammys. So take me through, starting with the night before.
Well, you try not to drink a lot because you don't want your face to be poofy, but there's it gets to a certain point though where you kind of forget how many you've had, and then it just sort of spirals down from there. So then you wake up.
What's the drink of choice? Is it tequila?
Tequila! Of course.
Love. I mean, you've got to celebrate. How can you not? So I feel you on that.
Yes. So hopefully the goal is to not drink too much, but you probably did. So then you wake up a little hungover and you're like,
of course.
Well, okay, that's all right. I'm going to have some coffee. And then you get excited about your outfit because you know it's not going to be a dress and it's going to be comfortable.
I knew I had to ask about this. Okay, so walk me through this process. Do you already have it picked out? How far in advance do you plan what you're wearing for the Grammys?
This one was it wasn't super far in advance. It was, because I didn't even know if I was going to the Grammys. So it was really just started after we found out that I was going to go. So, I was really excited when I found who I wanted to do the outfit with, and I'm just beside myself with excitement. And obviously love that it's not a dress. So yeah, you kind of just get hair and makeup ideas ready and figure out what you want your hairstyle to be. And I do not do my own makeup because that would be terrible for everyone. So really glad I don't have to do that. I still have not mastered putting fake eyelashes on. I want to so bad because they look so good. But every time I do it, it looks like spiders are coming out of my eyes. It's like terrifying.
That Ingrid, we're so excited for you. Again, congratulations on everything this year and your Grammy nominations. We will definitely be cheering for you virtually. We're having our own watch parties.
Woo! Yes! I love that.
All right. Thanks, Ingrid. And hopefully we'll see you again very soon.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching our interview and Grammy Countdown with Ingrid Andress. Make sure you stream all her music on iHeartCountry. We'll see you next time.